Hello everyone, I hope you're doing very well. So we're going to go over a tactical replay for last night's mission. That was Cold War Day 13 and we were attacking an airbase and it was a really cool mission. Now I haven't done a tactical replay in a while because I've just been busy on other things basically, but we've got some time so we're going to do it. And I mean I haven't done a tactical replay even since we got the Tomcat, so it's going to be interesting. It's the first time I'm going to get to look how the missiles work in combat and stuff like that, so that's cool. But first of all, and most importantly, we've got to watch Whistler's takeoff. This is purely to piss him off. There's nothing actually tactical about this, but that is important nonetheless. Come on, Whistler. There he goes. 10 knots, 20 knots, 30 knots, 40 knots, 50 knots, 60 knots. 1 degree of alpha, 90 knots, and we've got some good rudder action there, and we've got a drift and a slam, so I'm sure he will appreciate the chance to review that tactically. Now let's get on with the mission. So we've got we are here, where's that, Batumi, the hostiles are there, Tsunaki at if I can zoom in on there, a bit rusty with this to be honest. Right, the hostiles have got what are these ZSU 23s? They are, come on brain, they're Shilkers, aren't they? I think, are they Shilkers? They're Shilkers. And Soldier Stinger, these are manpads. So this is all Shilkers and Soldier manpads. So if you remember, in the orders I specified no one is to go under Angels 20 because near the airfield, because they will get shot. So that was why don't we do there was lots of air combat as well as ground attack, so why don't we do the ground attack first, then we'll roll back and watch the air-to-air, because otherwise it's going to be impossible to do two things at once. So I'm just going to check it's recording okay, and it is. Let's just roll forward. Our groups were it's a couple of days ago now because I had to go into London to a hospital, so I'm a bit confused. It was Buick was the bombers. We added a couple of guys at last minute. There was Sabre, that was me, Shadow, and a couple of other boys, Chaser and Skay. We were one air-to-air group, and the Trash was leading Whistler and someone else as another air-to-air group. So in we come, and we've got it gives the Rio's names in the Tomcat, so I'm just going to call them the Rio's name. It's just easier for me. Tebro in this one here, Sabre in this one there. He's going for it. Now the main problem we've got is its altitude's low, so it's never going to work out well. However fast you think you're going, you're not going to outrun a Stinger manpad, and I think from memory you get shot down. And no, he survived. Oh, I thought he got shot down, but maybe just me tripping. No, he survived. Wow, that was just luck. should have been killed there, really. So, well, I warned him. I'm not going to tell him because they know very well if they go below Angels 20, they're going to die. So, okay. At this point, my cat boys who are cruising up here panicked because we hear the missile fired warning from our Rios, and we didn't realise it was non-threatening to us, so it shitted us up a bit, but we're okay. A-10's doing good work, sticking together and waiting for their attack, waiting for their JTAC. Here's the JTAC. I think it was Atomic was JTACing. I didn't really catch that any of the movie, but it's just how it goes sometimes. Let's carry on. Looks like some air-to-air action started. Oh, what do we got here? Tebro is going to bomb from 13,000 feet. And he's going to get away with it by the looks of it. But he can go lower because you can see how he's not having to go directly over the target at 13,000 feet. So he's never really putting himself in this sphere of danger. The actual sphere of danger is much bigger. It's kind of what I'm circling there. So you can get away with going lower than Angels 20 as long as you drop the bombs, 2 miles before. And he did. But the problem is these are unguided bombs. And the chance of hitting from 13,000 feet is pretty much nil. And you can see he just wastes the bombs into the ground there. So that is a bit annoying. But I did give them specific orders they were to use GBUs, and obviously they haven't done it. It's very naughty. Auntie's just doing an auntie thing. I think she was trying to use, what are they called? the sidewinders, the side arms, but she couldn't get a lock on anything. Is that because these are not Shilkers, they're actually ZU-23s? I think I meant to put Shilkers down. I think I've accidentally put the ZU-23s down by the looks of things, which are the 23mm non-guided cannons. I think that's probably why Auntie couldn't get a lock. That is the kind of typical thing I'd do. She's put a couple of AGMs out at a safe distance of about 2 miles, whatever that is. A miss and a miss. I think they did hit stuff, just not the units they're meant to be hitting. And oh dear, Saber's gone in for a very silly attack again. So a really tempting fate here, even with man pads at 700 knots, 2,000 feet. It's very well. You will get killed. Those pilots know they can't survive this. I presume they just didn't have long to play or something like that. The only way you can, of course, survive man-pad attacks at 700 knots is if you're scooping the deck at 50 feet up to about 400 feet. So they're going to die. Also, the bomb ripple didn't work. Don't think that's Saber's fault. Oh, I always get in trouble for saying there's a bug in DCS, so I'm not going to say that, but I haven't managed to get the bomb ripples actually working in the F-14. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. I made a whole video about it, which I basically just read from the manual. But I can't actually get the separation between the bombs working properly. I don't know what you guys think, but that's just what I found. And he's dead now. They're not going to give him any sympathy because we told them exactly what they could and couldn't do. Going to scroll forward, see what happens next. Ooh, Auntie's getting close, but she's very experienced. She knows when to turn out and not. That's a Harrier, by the way. Oh, that was... don't know what that was. At this point, Auntie RTBs because she realises she hasn't got the weapons for this, so she's going to get a different bomb load. Whistler RTBs because there's something wrong with his jet. I don't know what it was. It's, technical problem of some kind. Which happens. I've had a bugged F-14 before. I'm not allowed to say that, am I? Well, I did. I had a bugged F-14 and none of the buttons worked for some reason. So in that case, all you have to do is go back to spectators, get a new plane, and it just suddenly works again. Right. So that's that. Anything else? The boys are coming in finally. So these A-10s will be liaising with the JTAC Atomic there, who's going to be lasing some targets for them. It looks like one is using self... now, what is an AGM-65K? Is that the laser guided? No, I don't think it is. I think that's the infrared guided. I may very well be wrong. It's a long time since I looked at them. But he's going to pepper weapons in there. A good standoff distance, so that's good. That's how we should be attacking this. And he's going to bosh, get something. And even more impressively, we've got a GBU-12. That's a laser guided 500-pound bomb, which is going to be guided from this guy here, who's representing the Hellhounds from day 12. And that's going to go Splunk. That is a kill. Love that, thank you very much. Got another K out. It's going to hit something, kill something, obviously. Hey, got a poor old Elo. Elo's flying around. He's just joined us again. No, I better not say why he's been away, but he's been away. And he's come back now, but he's a bit behind. He hasn't been caught up in the last half a year or so, and so he can't get his comms working. So I told him at the beginning of the mission, just follow the A-10s and you'll be okay. So he literally just followed the A-10. But without comms, he couldn't get the orders to drop his GBUs, obviously, because he couldn't 9-line with this guy or whatever they were doing. So, I don't know what exploded up there. Let's have a... That's nothing. Oh, that was me crashing with... I had a coming together with Shadow, the leader. Fuck it, we might as well go and have a look. You won't see this very often, but there was a miscommunication. I remember this very specifically. We're going down in this left orbit and some hostiles spawned in, as they do. There they are, they're over there. And I said, let's go for them, but bracket left. And our leads here, if you watch the video, was confused. He thought I meant turn left into them, which would have been turning all the way around here. So he kept turning, but what I meant was, I thought he'd understand, what I meant was turn right, but that's bracket left. Because bracket left would have taken us away from that SA-10. So I assumed he was going to turn right, and this is what happens when I assume too much. So I come by, he starts to level off, as you can see. I said turn right. He levels off. Now we're prepared for his right turn. How do I speed this up? And he's actually turned left again, and I've got confused, and whoops! Took my eye off the ball for a second. Silly cap. Annoyingly, I'd like to blame Shadow, but annoyingly, it is always the rear guy's fault. It's never the lead's fault. Apart from some, exceptions, and that's how you have to do it. It's like blaming someone in a car accident. It's always the rear guy's fault because he can always react to the guy in front, and vice versa doesn't work. So yeah, I'll take the blame for that one. Have we missed anything? I don't think so. There's another. One guy's using AMRAMs, one guy's using GBUs. I think Seavor's doing it properly. He's maybe not. Yeah, Seavor's doing it properly. He's using GBUs, raised by this guy. And I think King here is not actually a full member, so he's just doing his own thing, launching his own self-guided weapons. And Elo's just following them around, waiting for something to do. So another got the GB38, and they're good. They followed my orders. They're a little bit low there. They are actually playing with fire anywhere below 18,000 feet, and usually I say 20,000 for safety, like Seavor there. So it's a little bit lucky not to get popped at, but lucky is his middle name. Another beautiful GBU-12 laser guided from the JTAC vehicle. Another GBU-12. Another GBU-12. See, they're all just being German efficiency as usual. Not sure where these guys went because they were called off for some reason. You have to remember that these guys are always getting, as well as doing this, they're always getting spiked by these hostiles over here and these hostiles over there, and spiked by that guy there. So it's a dangerous occupation. This is another beautiful GBU-12 by Seedor. Actually, I support what they're doing here. It's hard for this guy to support multiple jets dropping bombs. I know they do it in real life, but if you've actually tried it, it's really hard to organise jets in. And remember, we can't see each other on the map. Everything is done verbally. And so what I think they've set up is Seedor was just doing the GBU-12s with the JTAC, and this guy is doing his own. No, they've both done GBU-12s. Look, are we going to get an impact? How are we going to get? That's interesting. They're both following the same laser. Look, so that was a bit of a misunderstanding between the boys. Boom, and wherever that lands, I don't know. Nowhere, I'm going to guess. Well, yeah, and they're just about back up to altitude. What happened here? Oh, Auntie's back. So Auntie's been home to refuel, to recharge with some different. And I didn't see this in the video, annoyingly, because that's just how it goes in the replay. Sometimes some stuff just doesn't happen in the replay. And apparently, she got bombs and survived on the runway. So this is how you can survive. Sabers watching. This is how you can survive a fast low attack. If you go low enough, and you can see she's at 300, less than 300 feet, 530 knots. This is really hard for the manpads to get line of sight in time. So this is how you can do it, and that's going to be bombs out. And Auntie is the reigning champion at delayed runway bombing. You couldn't kill a runway much more successfully than that, to be honest. So that's what she gets the job. And the delayed fuses are going off. Boom, boom, boom. That's one completely destroyed runway. Oh, she got hit. I think she would have done better just staying down, personally. Oh, lucky. Lucky they're not very big warheads on those manpads. And she does actually go back and land fine in the end. We had, I think, 2 losses to actual legal losses. When I say illegal losses, we are allowed to crash into each other. Blue is allowed to crash into blue. That's just something we allow. Any other death we don't allow. Oh, and we can allow to disconnect as well because it's, it's the internet. Right. So that was... The ground attack was pretty good, I think. Not perfect. Well, apart from Sabre and Gumbo, but... Oh, we've got some hotels going in, look. I thought the hotels were the optical guided ones, but whatever, I don't know. So he's pummeling away still. Elo's still following, which is funny as fuck. Oh, did Elo drop something? No. King Gear dropped a GBU-12 this time. It's the swap rolls this time by the looks of it. So just King Gear's GBU-12 hit. And how does he aim it, I wonder? Because how does he know what this guy is is calling out? And it's not an easy job. That runway is, well, 2.5 miles tip to tip. So he's got to be saying, I'm doing this. I'm sparkling this guy at the east end of the runway, and then they can come in, and so it's all good stuff. So Seedor's using his Mavericks now. He's dropped his bombs, obviously. What was that? Was that Elo dropping his bombs really weirdly? It was. That's the worst bomb attack ever. Look at Elo trying to drop bombs. I'll give him an excuse. He's been out 6 months. Good GBU there from Kingy. And a Shack. Well done. You see Gumbo's come back in here and he was already dead. You're not, obviously, in Grim Reapers, you're not allowed to respawn. So I've given him a 3-match ban for this because he came in and rebombed the target, which he knows he's not allowed, so he's accepted his punishment. So we won't be seeing him for a while. And he blew himself up anyway. So, yeah, he's banned. The boys carry on. Doing their thing. I don't know if there's anything else to see. I don't think so. That is Seethor. More perfect bombing from perfect altitude. King get way too low. He's going to get thwacked. Oh, yeah. For some reason he goes kamikaze. And this is why he's not a full member. Because he does things like this. I think it's just got bored at this point. And so actually, to be fair, this guy was someone we called in after we did the briefing. So he never even got the briefing. We were looking for players. We didn't have enough players. So I'll let him get away with it. But, it's just a good demonstration of what happens when you try and go in and do this with an A10. You're going to get peppered. He's just lucky I forgot to put the shield in. In fact, they all are, really. And you're just not going to get away with it. Unless he does. Unless he does. I thought he got shot. Did. Jimmy bugger. Boom, there's the kill, there's the money shot, and that takes him down. He ends up, goes and crashes. And that's that, really. I thought, do I see another one go up there? No, it's me dreaming. Seethor. Oh, look, that's Elo dropping a bomb. No, it isn't. It wasn't, just something else. Or was it? No, it's Seethor. Continue bombing, and there are no more losses there, nothing else to learn. Oh. Looks like Seethor had a cheeky little go. You should know better than that, really. What I imagine is he thinks he's been reported that all the stingers are dead, but you should never really make that assumption because they're almost impossible to see, and he's lucky not to get shot, to be honest. And that's it. They go home. They RTB fine. So there's some lessons there learned. Let me just have a quick drink. I like this. I've decided I like these replays because everyone can get their good points in there, get their bollockings when it's needed. Right, now we have a look at the air-to-air. It was a bit of a muddle. We're still learning to use these Tomcats. We still don't really know how to use these Tomcats tactically at the moment. We're finding our way through just by trial and error. Right. So what happens is when the attack starts, these two SU-33s, fully kitted and max skill level SU-33s appear. So they're just the kind of average usual enemy that I'll send against us. And Shane goes in. He's, again, not a full member because we were just having to grab the public members to fill the slots out. But he's a good guy that we know. So we've got him going in, and you can tell he's not a full member because he's completely lost from his squad, whereas the other guys are all together. That's it. So I can't actually remember what happens here, so let's go and do a poo. There we go. So let's see what he does. Analyse this tactic. So it appears to be cranking there. But turning in at 22 miles, so it couldn't have been a crank. Turning in at 22 miles, so I don't know what that was. But whatever it was. So he's turning in. Right, it's taking a 20-mile shot. Obviously, that's not trying to kill that guy. It appears that he's doing a posture shot to send one of these guys cold so that the rest of the guys can come and only fight against one guy. That's anything that makes sense. So he's shot that guy, but it's still way out of regulation. He's done a split S, which is good. He's done a fast split S. What's he going to do now? What he should do, as way of debrief now, is head 20 miles cold and let the other guys come in and overlap and start a chainsaw. That's what should be happening. So let's see what happens. But other than that, everything else has been good so far. Instead worked to put this guy cold, look. But he's going back in. It's a signature of a new guy. Trying to take the world on himself. And to be fair to him, there's no way of knowing where he is in relation to them, in relation to our guys. Well, there is. If the communications are done properly, everyone will be stating their distance This is the way this is the way that you can unify a chainsaw or a growler or a grumble or whatever you Americans call it. We're English, so we call it by its proper name. And that is that everyone will be saying their distance to the target, to the front target or the rear target, whatever your reference is. And that's how you reference where each guy is, because we don't see each other on a map. So that's what they should have been doing, of course. And so this tanky would have said, I'm 40 miles away. Then Cheyenne would have realised, shit, he's 40 miles away. I've got to go back 20, 30 miles. So that's what should have been happening here. But he's going solo Turk. He's been shot at, and he split us again correctly. He should just get out of town now. He's out of energy. You can see he's out of potential energy. He's down on speed. He's down on altitude. So his only chance now is really just charging away and letting the boys take it. And luckily, the beast that is the AIM-54 is now coming in from God knows how far away. Well, not that far. Oh yeah, over 35 miles. It's my first chance to really see how good these are in combat. It's the first actually look I've had at them and how the AI guys deal with them. Well, they're dealing with them completely wrong, I can tell you that. What's happened is, and this may be by the looks of things, where the AIM-54 has been added into DCS, but the artificial intelligence of the bad guys hasn't been updated yet of how to deal with these. The worst thing you can do is to try and gain altitude against an AIM-54. Altitude, the entire atmosphere is ruled by an AIM-54 in every way because of their massive speed and energy and seeking ability. The only thing you can do to avoid one of these guys, I don't think you can even beam them. They're so good. Actually, that's not true. You can, but by the time they're coming, by the time they've gone fully active, you probably don't get that chance. So your only way is down into the thick air and away. That's how you dodge an AIM-54. In my humble opinion, again, I'm no expert with them at the moment, but that's what I've seen. So this guy is no doubt going to get slammed because it's burnt his energy off sitting duck now. Yeah. So that was just a case of that guy there just didn't know how to react to that threat. Saying that, did he know it was that threat? What warning does he get that it's an AIM-54? He doesn't get that warning, does he? He gets a warning, he gets a spike from the missile. No, he doesn't know that's a missile. That could be anything. However, saying that your defense against any radar missile at any point is going down. I've talked about this. We've done videos about medium and long range missile evasion, and only a fool goes up. So that's something to bear in mind. Maybe we'll have to start beefing up the enemies if they can't dodge these AIM-54s, which is a possibility. So Sayan's lucky that got died, I think, because otherwise this guy would have followed Sayan up and pounded him. And look, Sayan's down on energy, down on potential energy. Now he's slowly coming up, but you can see as a solo player, not a team player. Not that other than that he's actually done anything wrong. Nice easy kill shot. About 6-7 miles. Pew. Okay, good work, boys. It appears that pummeling people with AIM-54s and then having a little wildcard F-18 in there is very effective because the Reds never even postured to be a challenge, did they? Which is good, unless that missile is going to kill Cheyenne, which is possible. No, that's one danger. These are Fox 3s, remember. They'll happily lock onto your own plane if you're not careful when they go transfer to their own dish. And that scoops me onto one thing. We've been playing around with tactics, and a mixed team of Tomcats and F-18s we found is incredibly dangerous. The Tomcats are incredibly effective from 20 miles upwards. 20 miles upwards, beautiful. They've got the missiles for it, the AIM-54, which is the best missile in the world, air-to-air, at least in DCS at the moment. It's just an immense weapon. And the radar is, the AUG-9 is just the best radar. I don't know if it's the most powerful in the world or whatnot, but it is, when you compare it to any of the others, it's a wonderful radar. And the combination of that and the AIM-54, as we can see here, is just beautiful. How do we know that? We know that as well because they only allow 2 AIM-54s per aircraft in SATEL, and that's because they've had to nerf them because they are so good. And so if you have a part of the group Tomcats for the long-range sniping, the Hail Marys, which are sending the hostiles cold, making it impossible for the hostiles to fight, to be aggressive, and then the killers being the F-18s that are in there that work best from 20 miles downwards. So you've got everything covered there. 20 miles upwards is the Tomcat's territory. Within 20 miles, I find the Tomcat becomes very spurious and difficult to work. I don't know if you guys agree with that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it is. F-18s, other way around, absolutely beautiful within 20 miles. Massive kit of Ware's missiles and radar ability, ACM and BVR radar ability for within 20-mile combat. Really good stuff, and we've got some wonderful results of that, which is pretty cool. Right, so those guys, none of these guys usually fly together as well. Now that's going to change for our squad here. We do fly well, kind of. But because I've crashed into Shadow, 2 of us are dead and only 2 are still going. These baddies have spawned up here. So let's go and have a peeky booze at them. So you've got an excellent team here. You've got a F-14B and an F-18, just for the reasons I've said. Basically, you've got all bases covered there against 2 kind of medium-range fighters, by which I mean they've got medium-range missiles. So let's see what has happened. So the first thing Skay is going to do is going to put a missile out 30 or 40 miles to interrupt these guys, send them cold, burn their energy down, make them ineffective. And we'll see that at some point. I see Skay's gone for more of a kill shot at 24 miles, but that and the Phoenix can really kill easily from that. But what I do, I prefer firing it earlier, way before these guys can start firing their posturing shots. I like to fire it at kind of 40 miles. Because it allows, let me just pause that. The reason why I do that is because it forces these guys defensive then before they've fired any missiles, and keeps them nice and big and heavy elephants, easy to kill, racked with loads of missiles for when the F-18s get into within kind of 20 miles. That's what I found is the best, rather than going through the kill shots at kind of 20 miles like Skay did here, but it's his choice. So you got these shots from the flankers. They're not designed to kill the blues. They're purely just posturing shots to send these guys defensive, but they're not as effective at all than these AIM-54s. Now, look, yeah, these guys just can't fight against AIM-54s by the look of it. This guy's gone up again. He's trying to barrel roll. You can't barrel roll out of the way of an AIM-54. We'll be incredibly lucky if he does. No, he's dead, see? I get the feeling they're just not programmed to fight these missiles yet, that are just dropping down from God. Yeah, both dead. Both completely inadequate defense there, kind of doing that guy slightly down, that guy up. You know, these missiles are way too much kinetic energy to do that against. It's got to be a full split S really or nothing. I haven't seen much good with... You can notch out long range, but it's not really something you're going to want to. And you wouldn't want to anyway. You wouldn't be able to anyway, because you wouldn't know they're being fired at you unless you saw the vapor trails, because these guys are going to be firing TWS more or less. So these guys don't get a warning until the missile's gone active, by which time it's too late. It's split S or nothing, if you know what I mean. So that's that. I get back. We can start forming the group back up now. Shadow gets back. In a GR mission, you can respawn if a blue hits another blue, not with a missile, but with our body. And the reason for that is that I force a lot of people to fly close formation, and you know, a lot of these guys just don't have time to practice. You know, they work every day. They have time to practice their formation flying, so it's not fair for me to punish them when they do hit each other, which I think is a good thing. I think it's the right thing to do. Right. Oh, look at that, exactly the same. We've got Chaser down low here. Well, I say low, 20,000 feet, it's not low at all. And me up here with the sniper shot. So we're going to do exactly the same. What we're probably going to see is my preferred method now of shooting at about 30 or 40 miles. So to make sure these guys can't get a shot in, even though, well, let's just see how it goes. I mean, it's the first time I've actually been able to look at this, so it's all been theory until now. So... yeah, look, my first missile's out now. Now, the interesting thing is that these guys chaffing already. And that was unexpected, because I'm pretty sure I fired these in TWS, so they shouldn't be getting a lock. So what they've done is they've seen the contrails of these Mark 60s. I use Mark 60s because they are the most hard-hitting ballistically. Very hard to dodge such a high-powered missile. The bad thing is it looks like the AIs see it and they can start chaffing. The good news for me is the AIs are so shit now. In terms of Phoenixes, they're just not good enough to dodge Phoenixes. And I wouldn't be surprised if my Phoenixes just... Look, they're trying to dodge it by a lateral turn in, well, no turn. So these guys are going to be toast. He might just make it. Yeah, but so he's going to make it. I mean, he's kind of gone down, hasn't he? And, oh, what happened there? Oh, no, one guy... yes, let's just have a quick recap of that. Yeah, the other guy just flew into it, look. By the time he was starting to split S, he was a dead man. It's just yeah, crap flying, isn't it, at the end of the day? But they are computer guys, so that's fair play. And let's just see our tactic otherwise. So I've fired the missiles off, then I've seen the hostile missile, I've gone cold, which is exactly the correct thing to do. Chaser was not being fired at, but he was getting the warning of this. Maybe he was getting fired at. Yeah, maybe he was getting fired at, so he's had to turn cold, he's got no choice. In reality, because that's such a long-range shot from the hostile, you probably could jink that and carry on, but why risk it? When you've got buddies on your side, you don't need to do solo Turk shit. You can just rely on your buddies. Even though we were technically nastily out of phase there, but we'd have to worry because we know we've got the boys back here, so it's always going to be an unfair fight on our side. This guy goes down here. I don't know what he's doing, being a muppet down here. Okay, and somehow he gets through our defences, I remember. Look at this. I don't know how we don't pick him up. Oh, we do. Okay. Just like the Reds again, never really stood a chance. We fight against less guys than we used to in terms of AI, simply because we're still getting used to these F-14s, and we will be doing for a while, probably another couple of months before we really understand what they're all about. Anyway, let's have a look at here. So I've picked this guy up and blasted another 30 more shots. That's going to send him defensive. However, I didn't realise Chaser was in quite so far, so we had miscommunication there. I thought Chaser was behind me at this point. And that's why it's always imperative to say when you're recommitting to the fight, when you're going cold and when you're recommitting. If you don't say that, then I can't plan. And maybe he did say that, maybe I just didn't hear him, but just for general advice. So Chaser's fired and cranked. Now that's an interesting shot. Isn't that an interesting shot? I've never done that before. Fired and cranked. I've always cranked and fired. I've never fired and cranked. It's actually a really good idea, isn't it? So let's see what he does. He puts the missile out at 14 miles. It's not really a kill shot unless this guy's a complete retard. Then he's done his 70-degree crank to make him invincible from this guy's missiles. And then presumably he's going to turn back in for a kill shot. See? You learn just by watching these things. And it was possible because this radar can slew 70 degrees right. It's still tracking him, look. And now it's gone active. So that was never going to be a kill shot. But it has postured him so that this guy can turn in now and chase him at 10 miles. Very interesting. Maybe I'll get in a Hornet and start trying that. Never tried it before. Or even really thought you could do it. Right, anyway, so Shadow's done a bit of a silly Shadow. I don't know why he's fired at 22 miles on a dogfighting target. Very dangerous. Well, it would have been if he was actually dogfighting, but he's not, so that's fair enough. But anyway, that is my 54 finally coming down. Plonk. Tracing down to the ground, and it's just a chasing contest. It's actually harder than it looks. Chasing someone, oh no, it was good visibility. I was going to say it was bad visibility. It was actually good visibility. Okay, it's not very dangerous at all there. And the reason I was going to say that is because you often lose your pulse Doppler track when they're heading cold. You're often the same speed as them, and you'll lose your pulse Doppler track, and then they will suddenly disappear. And then if it was cloudy, they could turn around. But anyway, it's irrelevant now. We've got an ambitious long shot. Not a fan of ambitious long shots because 7.5 miles cold. So it's about 4 miles is the maximum range of an AIM 120 cold. As we'll see, this will just bleed off. And it doesn't really... I guess what you could say is it's upsetting this guy and forcing him to manoeuvre, slowing him down a bit. So maybe it does have function. Now, I am... If you remember in the video at this point, I'm going crazy... just because I'm still a noob essentially in the F-14. I've got a lock on him all this time and I can fire, but I didn't realise that I had. I thought my HUD had broken. So that's another pointless shot that won't catch him. Yeah, I'm just a crap pilot at the end of the day, aren't I? And I finally realised that I have actually got a lock on him all this time and I can now fire. I much prefer it with a human Rio. I really struggle with the gesture Rio because I can't communicate with him. And this guy is turning around into his death, obviously. The same 54 might well get him. Oh, I didn't know I got this kill. Look at this. Oh, we just crashed. Loser. Wasn't much you can do anyway. And out of nowhere, the next two have respawned. So in they come. The fight starts. Now, the good thing is we only detached 2 guys to go in for ACM. The other 2 stayed back for whatever reason. on purpose or by accident, I don't really know. And they've been covering about these two. And then this guy will be covering here, who's going slow, probably on purpose, so that when the next two come, he's ready to cover them. Yeah, I don't really know, but that's a good outcome. This guy's pumping long-range missiles, and he can't kill them, obviously, but he is sending them defensive, upsetting them, taking the initiative away from them, and that's important to do. We've got a video about posture shots, why you do them, and they're incredibly important. They are more important than firing shots to kill people. Because firing shots to kill people is a very dangerous thing to do. This is a very conservative, safe thing to do. We are taking away these guys' ability to kill our blue guys by doing this. And we're not threatening ourselves at all. Meanwhile, we get a shot on no, Chaser. I don't know why he shot the small beaming low target and not the big fat target up here, but he has. And it's not going to hit anyway. Yeah. That is another aim 20C. Again, it's not a... I don't know why he's doing it at this point. At this point, you don't need to posture them. They're heading away. You know you can't kill them at 14 miles cold. It's 4 miles. So to me, that's just waste of missiles. I think Shadow just got excited there. So we'll debrief him on that. We'll pick up his red points. And you might be able to hit with an A54 cold here. Don't know. Haven't done it enough. Tell me that guy. Jesus Christ. What is the matter with the AI? Just jumped into the ground for no reason. Well, we're lucky the reds are crap because we're not much good ourselves. So. And this guy, tell me, right, there you go, we did that, look. Yeah, and that'll explain why we killed them all without any losses. But it's good. It's training us up at the end of the day. Training us up to learn to use the F-14s with the F-18s. Which we're still, you know, just starting to learn to use, basically. I think it's also the first time we've used the entire squad in what are they called? High fidelity models only. There's no FC3 anymore. I've not banned it, but we just never see the point of FC3. They're much easier to fly, but we prefer the involvement of the high fidelity. So yeah, so we're starting to learn to fly together again. What we'll do once there's no point doing it at the moment, but once we're better in these type of squads with F-14s, we'll start introducing human red guys again. Who obviously pose a harder challenge. They can do proper tactics. They don't just run into the ground like that. Well, unless they're a retard. And we'll do that. But for this campaign, I'd like to continue like this, just to grow the team together. That's it. We go bomb them. We've done the mission. A couple of idiots killed themselves, but otherwise it was a good mission done. That's all I've got to say. I'll try and do some more of these because they are really good learning points, and I try and make the boys watch them so that I can basically red mark them when they do things wrong, and then they learn by it. The best way of learning. Right, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you for day 14.